Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into a really compelling narrative. It's about identity, heritage, and how one object can completely shift someone's world.
Yeah, it centers on this guy, Ethan Graham, a
Yes.
graphic designer in Chicago.
Right, and his whole aesthetic is like super modern, think steel, glass, very neutral tones.
Exactly. Minimalist to the core. He doesn't really do heirlooms or clutter. It's all about clean lines, a kind of chosen blank slate.
Until his mother gives him something that is definitely not minimalist.
Not at all.
You
An
know,
old, heavy, leather-bound trunk belonged to his grandfather, Angus Graham.
Angus, who came over from Glasgow, what, 50 years ago?
That's the one. And this trunk, it's not just symbolic, it's physically imposing, real history landing on his doorstep.
So what's inside this Pandora's box of heritage?
Well, the main thing is a kilt. And not just any kilt, it's very specific.
The Graham of Menteith tartan, that exact pattern.
Precisely. Along with a silver kilt pin and this old faded journal. So suddenly he has this visual lineage he's never acknowledged.
Which leads to this immediate conflict, right? He feels obligated to go to the Highland Games.
Yeah, his grandfather apparently never missed them, but Ethan feels completely awkward.
Like a fraud.
Totally, an imposter. He's wearing this incredibly visible symbol of a heritage he feels, zero connection to. He hasn't earned it.
It's like cultural cosplay, but deeply uncomfortable.
Right. He's this modern guy stuck in, well, a very maximalist piece of history, and he's just standing there, probably feeling pretty lost.
And then he meets Clara.
Yes, Clara. She's a Celtic studies major, and she's the catalyst here. She sees the kilt, recognizes the specific tartan immediately.
And she gives him the context he's missing.
Exactly. She provides that intellectual framework, and she notices something in the journal, too.
The motto his grandfather kept writing down.
Yeah, ne oublie.
Which means do not forget.
Do not forget. And Claire explains it's not just about memory, it's about promises, friends, your roots, your heritage.
Okay, but wait. If Ethan's whole thing is minimalism, clean slate, why does this do not forget suddenly hit so hard? Isn't it just more, well, clutter from the past?
I think because it directly challenges that clean slate idea. It forces him to confront what he's been maybe deliberately ignoring, that void his minimalism created.
And Clary doesn't just leave it at the motto, does she? She pulls him in.
No, she makes it real, cultural immersion right away. She doesn't just lecture.
How so? What does she do?
Well, take the caber toss, for instance. She explains it's not just about, chucking a giant log.
Right, there's technique involved.
Loads of it. Physics, balance, focus. It's grounded, precise. Suddenly, it's not just some strange ancient custom. It's applied skill.
Making the foreign familiar.
Exactly. And the bagpipes, she calls them the heartbeat of Scotland.
That's evocative.
It is. And it reframes them from just noise into, like, the rhythmic pulse of the whole event. It fills the silence he usually cultivates. Structure, but a living one.
So the culture itself provides a kind of structure he was missing in his own minimalist world.
I think so, yeah. Which leads to the big release moment.
The silly.
The dancing.
The silly. That traditional Scottish dance. All that self-consciousness, that feeling of being an imposter.
It just melts away.
It has to. You're part of a community, moving together, structured joy. You're participating, not performing. You don't have time to feel awkward.
That makes sense. You get lost in the movement.
And this is where he finally voices that feeling.
Yeah.
That he's a fraud. And Clara gives him the key insight.
What does she say?
She tells him, heritage isn't about where you were born or your passport. It's simpler. It's about the stories we choose to keep alive.
Wow. So by wearing the kilt.
He's not an imposter. He's a storyteller. He's choosing to keep his grandfather's story, that specific story, alive.
That's a powerful reframing. From fraud to storyteller.
A total shift in perspective. And we see the result, right, a year later?
Yeah, the narrative jumps forward. Ethan's changed.
Completely. He's standing tall on a tartan.
Yeah.
He and Clara, they've actually traveled to Scotland, to the Graham ancestral lands. And he's even integrated it into his work, his minimalist design studio.
He has. Clan Graham crest is there. It's not clutter anymore. It's part of his identity, merged with his modern life.
So the kilt, that piece of wool that made him so uncomfortable,
becomes the thread connecting him. To his past, to himself, even to love, finding Clara. It connected him to everything he didn't even realize he was missing.
it filled that void.
Precisely. It became the symbol of his own story, finally.
So the big takeaway here is how a physical object, a symbol, can unlock something profound within us. Identity, connection.
Absolutely. It wasn't just wool, it was a key.
Which brings us to Clara's final thought, that maybe we only find things when we finally start looking for them.
Challenging idea.
Definitely. So for you listening, think about it. What symbols or stories might be lying dormant in your own life? Things that maybe feel like clutter now.
But could actually be waiting for you to pick them up, understand them, and start telling their story? What are you not yet looking for?